Hello, today we are going to see how we can play Flash Player games in Linux in the year 2024. So for that we need both a Flash Player that runs on Linux and Flash Player games. We go to archive.org and here we search for Flash games. There's either an individual game uploaded to the archive.org or 1,000 Flash Player games in a archive, and then the archive was uploaded here. The second thing that we need is the Flash Player for Linux. Standalone. Okay. The best upload to the archive.org that we actually are looking for is this one, archive.org/details/flash32.32 which says that it's published by Adobe Labs in the year 2020. Adobe Flash Player 32 beta. And let's look at the files. So there's Linux 64-bit, Linux 32-bit, macOS, and Windows. So we want the Linux 32-bit one. And this is Netscape plugins, so web browser plugins, and plugins for the first versions of Google Chrome. So we don't need that. Let's look in here in this gzip. So in here we have Flash Player Standalone, SA, this thing. And then Linux, this is the 64-bit. This, where is the 32-bit? There's no 32-bit. Okay, so this will be it. Download. Let's save them in the current directory, today's directory. Where are you? How can we do that? Save. Okay, like this. So now we have the Flash Player Standalone executable, which is a single window where you can open any SWF file. Let's find some games that we can play. So my Flash games collection. There's, I don't know, 15 games with files with extensions SWF in each of the 8 directories named F1 to F8. So let's go back and see how we can download all. Where it says show all, click on 707 files and save. The download speed is not great. Archive.org is a non-profit. They are using the resources that they have as best as they can. If the download speed would increase for archive.org, the cost of running the archive.org website would increase significantly. Okay. What else? Various Flash games. Flash games collection. And there's also categories for Flash software or SWF files. For instance, this one. archive.org/details/flash archive. There's also Flash Player games that were created by various media outlets such as Nick Jr., Cartoon Network, Nesquik, mobile phone providers, etc. Sesame Street. Cow and Chicken, Cartoon Network. The websites for children's television programs used to have Flash Player games that you could play online. That was the only reason to visit the cartoonnetwork.com website. So this thing. Okay, the download speed is really slow. We'll be back once downloading finishes. Okay, so downloading finished. Again, we have two different categories of things that we want. We want games, which are files with extension SWF, and we want the Flash Player standalone. The Flash Player standalone resides in this archive. We can unarchive it either using the graphical user interface tools for unarchiving, such as like this, or in this case, because it's a tar.gz file, the command line would be tar-extract zip verbose files and then Flash Player. Okay, but then this did not create a subdirectory, which is not that great. So let's extract it using the graphical user interface tool. Extract. And this is the file that we're interested in. It starts with ELF, which means it's a Linux executable. We can run file on it. It's ELF 64-bit, LSB executable, x86 64, so it's 64-bit for Linux. And it's already executable because it was inside of an archive. It was made executable, then it was archived. Now we've unarchived it and it's still executable. So that means we can just double click on it. Okay. Okay, let's open the Flash Player by double clicking on it. And now let's get some games. There's thousands of games in here. So I do not know any, so we'll open something very randomly. Where is it? Mansion Impossible. Okay. Unfortunately, I cannot drag and drop. That does not work. I cannot paste the URL. So the best way for me to do it would be to actually associate all of the files with extension SWF with this executable, the Flash Player. So we do that by putting the Flash Player, for instance, in a directory that we're not going to delete soon. Could be the downloads directory or could be a directory that's already in the path environment variable. Does not really matter. So such a directory that's already in the path environment variable would be tilde/.local/bin. We can put it there. It's named Flash Player without any extension. And now we can associate files with extension SWF, right click, open with, other. In here we put the full path to the Flash Player. Ctrl-Alt-C in my case. And Ctrl-V. Instructions. Make enough money buying and selling houses. Let's make everything way bigger. On the property market to buy £10 million mansion. How do we do that? Buy houses by clicking when they come up for sale. Prices go up and down. Sell at the right time. Play. Oof, oof, oof. 100k, okay. Too much. Apply this. Okay. And sell now. Okay. This guy. Okay. Why do we have 98k? That was a bad investment. Okay, so it's just a click, 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 click game. Let's not play not safe for work games. Forest fight. What is that? Shoot at oncoming orcs. Easy, of course. Oof. Okay, so this is a shooter game without a infrared gun. Okay, so that's about all there is to it. Just download from the archive.org. From this, upload Flash32 beta, the Flash Player standalone for your platform. In my case, it's this one, Linux 64-bit targz. I've extracted it. I've copied it to ~local/bin. Does not matter where you copy it. And then I'm associating all of the files with extension SWF to be opened with this executable ~local/bin/flashplayer. Many of the games in the archive have extension access, so we'll stay away from those because we don't want to install viruses and because they do not have the extension SWF. Oh, Flash, what's this? Skip intro. Player 1. So this is a Pac-Man style game. Or a Dina Bomberman like game. Oof. Space to hit. Oof. How do we do that? No. Okay. You can go full screen, Control F, but also X, escape seems to exit. 100%. Zoom in. The usual context menu that you remember from the web browser. 100% show all, quality, and the about box, which is also available from here. Help about. And the global settings tries to open a web browser, doesn't navigate anywhere. Whereas settings opens this Adobe Flash Player dialog that you remember. Enable hardware acceleration. Allow local to access your camera and microphone. Okay. Camera, microphone, and local storage. Help also goes online. Navigates nowhere. And let's see one last try. Powerpuff Girls. Blossom. Bubbles. Some of these might not be games, might be just animations. Click here. Okay. I clicked, so what? That was it. Billiard. View full screen. How do we play this play game? It says aiming in here. And when you keep the left mouse button pressed, it's in shooting mode. And that's about it. Oof. How easy it is to make points. How do we exit this thing? By control queuing. Blackjack. There's also casino games, blackjack, roulette, golfs, mini golfs, chess, the classic breakouts, and what is this? Dolphin Dash. What is that? Navigate the dolphin with the arrow keys. Collect event pills. How do we do that? The pills. Wow, score. So this is like a Fluffy Bird thing. Space to begin. How do I... Right click does not work because that's the way Flash Player was. It never had... Oof. Totally outside of the park. Control F. And then Control Q was the quit shortcut. Gravity balls. What's this? Ooh. All of the arcade classic games such as Invaders and Pac-Man and the games that you have played in the 2000s mobile phones such as these Jules games. Mahjongs. And the classical games like Go and 4 in a row and other table games. Military snow. What is this? Oof. What is that? Pac-Mans. And Adobe Flash Player Standalone refuses to go on the network. It shows such a message box which allows you to actually cancel. Start. How do we do that? Yeah, it's probably maybe exactly the original Pac-Man, but just recompiled for whatever technology was behind ActionScript. Similar to the Snake game on the mobile phone, the Nokia mobile phone. So there's left and right arrow keys. Ooh. Ooh. So it doesn't only turn 90 degrees, but there's finer turns. Okay, so this should be it. Thank you.